Imagine for a moment that you are the entire universe, not just a person observing it, but the very fabric, the endless expanse, the cosmic dance itself. Think about it. Everything you see, feel, and experience comes from within you, an extension of this miraculous, infinite energy manifesting as the world as you. The universe, it seems, has a unique sense of play. It hides itself in myriad forms, stars, planets, people, trees, and takes on countless perspectives. And in each form it forgets itself so that it can experience itself anew. You, sitting here listening, are a unique viewpoint through which the universe perceives itself. Just as every wave is a momentary form of the ocean, you are a temporary form of the universe. And just as waves rise and fall, so do we in the grand, mysterious dance of existence. But in this game we've been given a veil, a filter we call identity, and with this identity we carry our name, our memories, and our personalities, and we come to believe we are separate, isolated from everything around us. We think, I am here, and the world is out there, but what if this separation is an illusion? What if the boundary between you and not you is as thin as air, as illusory as a shadow? For where do you end, and the rest of the universe begin? The breath you just took, the air, molecules, and atoms entering your lungs was once part of a distant star. It was part of the soil, the trees, the rivers, the sky, and now it's part of you. Every atom in your body has traveled through unimaginable distances, through countless forms, to arrive at this exact moment. So you see, the universe is not just around you. It is within you, and you are within it. What would happen if you allowed yourself to dissolve, if only for a moment, this boundary of self? If you could let go of being you and simply become aware of the experience of being alive, of being present in this very moment, you would discover something profound, that the universe is not something separate, foreign, or distant. It's here. It's now. It's everything you see, feel, and are. Realizing this, you become free. You are no longer a separate fragment struggling against the currents of life. Instead, you realize you are the current, you are the unfolding, and that everything is in perfect, harmonious motion, even when it seems chaotic. This understanding doesn't erase our individuality, it deepens it. Knowing you are the universe means that each of your experiences, joys and sorrows, are the universe expressing itself through you. Every relationship, every emotion, every challenge is the universe at play, experiencing itself from a unique perspective. And so let us live with the awareness that we are both a part and the whole. Let us dance with life, knowing that we are the universe learning about itself, loving itself, and playing with itself through us. There's nothing to prove, nowhere to go. We are already home. Imagine for a moment that the boundary you believe to separate you from everything else does not actually exist. This boundary is a concept we cling to because it gives structure to our experience of life. Yet from the molecules that flow through your body to the air you breathe, the line between you and the universe is, in truth, nowhere to be found. Each breath you take is filled with atoms that have traveled through stars, rivers, and forests, continuously flowing, shifting, and transforming into new forms. Every cell in your body, every sensation, every thought you experience, all these are interconnected with the entire cosmos, as much a part of it as the stars, oceans, and mountains. You are as integral to the universe as the universe is to you. But we don't experience this oneness easily because we've grown used to the story of separation. A story that tells us we are isolated individuals in a world of others. From an early age, we begin to divide our perception, drawing lines between me and not me, labeling things as separate objects and concepts. We see the world through the filter of personal identity, our name, memories, and individuality, and we learn to rely on this filter to guide us through life. Yet this division, while practical, is superficial. When we look deeper, we find that the distinction between self and universe is an illusion, much like the crest of a wave on the ocean. The wave has a unique shape, a form, and perhaps even a story of its own, but it remains inseparably part of the ocean. Our bodies constantly change as cells die and regenerate. And we know that these cells, these atoms that create us, come from the world around us: soil, plants, water, and air. With each meal, each breath, we are in a constant exchange with the environment. Life itself exists through this continuous flow, an endless interchange that keeps us connected to the universe around us. If we truly look, we see that the self and the world are not two separate entities, but rather a single fluid process, a grand play of energy moving through form and formlessness. We are the temporary shape the universe has taken for this moment, unique yet continuous with the whole. This continuity goes beyond our bodies. Our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions also reveal an underlying unity. When we feel joy, sadness, or curiosity, these feelings are not isolated occurrences. They are the universe experiencing itself through the lens of our individuality, allowing it to see itself in diverse ways. Think of laughter, for instance, as something the universe created, a feeling that comes from a collision of thoughts, memories, and sensations, all arising from the interconnected web of experience. When we laugh, we momentarily step outside of ourselves and touch something larger, a shared moment that reminds us of the interconnected play of life. It's also important to remember that when we think, we draw upon the thoughts, teachings, and experiences that generations before us have passed down. Language itself, our primary tool for describing reality, is a shared construct, a product of centuries of accumulated human experience. Each word, each concept we use to define ourselves in the world, is a thread in the vast tapestry of collective human consciousness. So when we consider our thoughts, even these are not truly ours, but rather a reflection of the universal consciousness at play within us. Consider how nature operates. A forest, for instance, is not just a collection of individual trees, but an ecosystem where each tree, each plant, each microorganism is interconnected, relying on one another for survival. The roots of trees exchange nutrients through networks that stretch across miles, allowing them to communicate and share resources. Likewise, in our interconnected existence, we influence and are influenced by the lives around us, just as the trees do. Each interaction, each conversation, each glance exchanged with another being is a reminder that we are part of an intricate web of existence, one that transcends individuality and flows through everything. This oneness is woven into the fabric of every relationship we experience. When we love, for example, we are not merely feeling affection for another person. In that love, we are dissolving the boundaries that keep us separate, allowing us to feel the depth of another being as an extension of ourselves. Love reveals our true nature as interconnected beings, reminding us that the divide between self and other is paper thin. In moments of connection, empathy, or shared understanding, we glimpse the truth we are not isolated entities in a disconnected world, but expressions of one harmonious universe. And so, if we can start to see ourselves as waves in the ocean of existence, each with a unique expression yet indivisible from the whole, we may begin to dissolve the illusion of separation. The interconnectedness of self and universe, once realized, transforms how we see our lives, our relationships, and our purpose. Instead of striving to define ourselves as isolated beings, we come to understand that we are a continuous unfolding process of form the universe has taken for a time, moving in harmony with all that exists. The sense of separation falls away, and we live as we are meant to, as the universe becoming aware of itself, reveling in the profound, interconnected wonder of being alive. Identity, as we often perceive it, is a temporary form and ever-shifting collection of experiences, thoughts, and emotions that we mistake for the essence of who we are. From the moment we enter this world, we begin to construct an identity based on the interactions we have, the environment we are born into, and the societal norms we encounter. We receive names, familial roles, and cultural identities, all of which shape how we see ourselves and how we wish to be seen by others. Yet upon closer examination, we find that this identity is not a fixed entity. Rather, it is a fluid expression, constantly evolving as we navigate through the myriad experiences life offers. Consider how we often define ourselves through labels: parent, teacher, artist, friend. These labels serve a purpose, allowing us to communicate our roles and relationships in the world. However, they are merely markers along a journey, not the final destination. For instance, a parent may derive much of their identity from their role, but what happens when their children grow up and leave home? The parent may find themselves at a crossroads, confronting an identity crisis as they grapple with the loss of that defining role. In this moment, they are forced to confront the reality that their identity was never static, but rather a temporary form they inhabited, shaped by their relationships and experiences. This fluidity is echoed in our memories. We often look back at past experiences with nostalgia, seeing them as integral to our identity. Yet those memories are filtered through our current understanding and emotions, which are themselves always changing. The person who experienced a particular event is not the same person reflecting on it years later. With each passing moment we evolve, shaped by new experiences, insights, and perspectives. Our identity, then, is more like a river than a rock constantly flowing, adapting, and reshaping itself. When we cling too tightly to our identity, we may find ourselves resistant to change. This resistance can lead to suffering as we struggle to maintain a version of ourselves that no longer aligns with our present reality. We often hear phrases like finding yourself or being true to yourself suggesting a fixed essence to discover. However, if we embrace the idea that our identity is not a singular truth but a collection of experiences and roles, we open ourselves to the possibility of becoming more than what we currently define as me. The concept of self becomes even more complex when we consider how we relate to others. Each interaction we have has the potential to influence and reshape our identity. When we engage with someone, we are not just exchanging words, we are exchanging energy, ideas, and perspectives. In those moments, we may adopt aspects of their identity, allowing our own to shift and expand. For instance, a person may see themselves as shy in one context, but may discover a more outgoing aspect of themselves when surrounded by supportive friends. The interplay between self and other demonstrates that our identity is not a solitary experience, but rather a communal one, intricately woven into the fabric of relationships. Cultural influences also play a significant role in shaping our identity. The societal narratives we consume inform our beliefs, values, and perceptions of self. We are often socialized into specific roles based on gender, ethnicity, and socioeconomic background, which can either empower us or constrain our sense of self. For example, a young woman raised in a culture that emphasizes traditional roles may feel pressure to conform to those expectations. However, when exposed to diverse perspectives and alternative narratives, she may begin to question and redefine her identity outside of those prescribed boundaries. This ongoing negotiation of identity illustrates how we are not fixed entities, but rather dynamic participants in the ongoing story of our lives. As we navigate through life, we inevitably encounter challenges and obstacles that force us to confront our identity. A sudden loss, a career change, or a significant life event can prompt profound reflection, pushing us to reevaluate who we are. In these moments, we may find ourselves shedding layers of our identity that no longer serve us, much like a snake shedding its skin. This process of transformation can be uncomfortable, but it also offers an opportunity for renewal and growth. By embracing the idea that our identity is temporary, we can learn to let go of what no longer resonates and create space for new expressions of self. The realization that identity is a temporary form invites us to live with greater openness and flexibility. Instead of clinging to fixed notions of who we are, we can approach life with curiosity, allowing ourselves to explore different aspects of our being. This perspective encourages us to engage with new experiences, relationships, and ideas, enriching our understanding of self and the world around us. It frees us from the burden of perfection, allowing us to embrace our imperfections as part of the ever-evolving tapestry of identity. In essence, when we let go of the need to define ourselves rigidly, we discover a deeper connection to the present moment. We become more attuned to the richness of life as it unfolds, appreciating the beauty of our evolving identities. We can find joy in the exploration of self, understanding that each phase, each role, and each experience adds depth to our existence. Instead of fearing change, we can embrace it as a natural and essential part of our journey, celebrating the dynamic interplay of identity that reflects the vastness of our human experience. Living with awareness of oneness is a profound shift in perception that allows us to experience life from a perspective of unity rather than separation. This awareness recognizes that all beings and elements of the universe are interconnected, woven together in a vast tapestry of existence. When we truly embrace this understanding, our experience of life transforms, revealing the inherent harmony that exists within diversity. At the core of this awareness is the realization that the distinctions we make between self and other, human and nature, individual and collective, are often artificial constructs of the mind. We are conditioned to see ourselves as separate entities navigating a world filled with others, each with their own distinct identities and stories. Yet when we delve deeper into the nature of reality, we find that these divisions are merely surface-level interpretations. Underneath, there is a shared essence that binds us all together, a universal consciousness that flows through everything. This sense of oneness can be felt most profoundly in moments of connection with others. When we engage authentically with another person, whether through conversation, shared experiences, or acts of kindness, we often find ourselves stepping beyond the confines of our individual identities. In those moments, we dissolve the boundaries that typically separate us, experiencing a sense of empathy and understanding that transcends words. It's as if we are momentarily glimpsing the truth that we are not merely separate beings, but expressions of the same fundamental energy. In these interactions, we may feel a warmth and connection that can be both uplifting and transformative. Nature provides us with a powerful reminder of this interconnectedness. Observing the natural world reveals how all life forms rely on one another for survival. Consider a forest where trees, plants, animals, and microorganisms exist in a delicate balance, each contributing to the ecosystem's health and vitality. The roots of trees communicate and share nutrients through underground networks, creating a web of life that demonstrates the profound interconnectedness of all beings. In nature, there is no sense of competition for dominance. Rather, there is collaboration and mutual support. This intricate dance of life serves as a poignant metaphor for how we might navigate our own relationships with one another. When we adopt an awareness of oneness, we begin to see that our joys and sorrows are not solely our own. They resonate through the fabric of humanity. The feelings we experience in our personal lives are often shared by others in different contexts around the world. When we feel happiness, we can recognize that others too are experiencing joy in their own unique ways. Similarly, when we face challenges or pain, we can acknowledge that suffering is a universal experience. This recognition fosters compassion and empathy, allowing us to respond to others with a sense of shared humanity. Living with awareness of oneness also invites us to reconsider our relationship with the environment. When we see ourselves as part of the natural world rather than separate from it, our perspective shifts dramatically. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the earth that nourishes us are not just resources to be exploited, but essential elements of our shared existence. Understanding this interconnectedness can inspire us to act with greater care and responsibility toward the planet. Our well-being is intrinsically tied to the health of the earth, and when we harm the environment, we are ultimately harming ourselves. This awareness can extend into our daily lives, influencing how we engage with the world around us. When we practice mindfulness and presence, we open ourselves to the interconnected nature of our experiences. Instead of rushing through life preoccupied with our individual concerns, we begin to notice the subtleties that connect us to others. A simple smile exchanged with a stranger, the laughter shared with friends, or the kindness shown to someone in need, all of these moments reflect the oneness we share as human beings. By cultivating a sense of gratitude for these connections, we enhance our awareness of oneness and deepen our sense of belonging. Moreover, living with an understanding of oneness encourages us to embrace diversity. The differences we encounter in culture, beliefs, and lifestyles are not barriers to connection, but rather expressions of the infinite ways in which consciousness manifests. Each person we meet brings a unique perspective, enriching our understanding of the world. Instead of viewing differences with suspicion or fear, we can approach them with curiosity and openness, seeking to learn and grow from one another. This approach fosters a sense of community and belonging, reminding us that our individual stories are part of a much larger narrative. In practice, this awareness can be cultivated through mindfulness and reflective practices. Meditation, for example, offers a powerful tool for quieting the mind and attuning ourselves to the present moment. In stillness, we can witness the flow of thoughts and emotions without attachment, allowing us to connect more deeply with our essence and the essence of others. As we cultivate this awareness, we begin to experience a sense of peace and harmony that transcends our individual identities. Ultimately, living with awareness of oneness transforms how we engage with the world and with one another. It encourages us to embody compassion, empathy, and love, recognizing that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of all. This perspective fosters a sense of responsibility not only for our own lives, but also for the lives of others and the planet we inhabit. When we see ourselves as part of a greater whole, we can embrace our shared humanity, finding strength and inspiration in the collective journey we all share. This awareness enriches our experience of life, allowing us to navigate the complexities of existence with grace, understanding, and profound connection.